What While some believe his date of birth to be the 15th lunar day in the month of Kartika, commonly known as Kartika Purnima, according to the Hindu calendar. This confusion stems from Bala Sahib's Janam Sakhi, which claims the latter date. Nanak belonged to a subcaste of the mercantile Khatris. The relatively high social rank of the Khatri caste distinguishes Nanak from other Indian religious reformers of the period and may have helped promote the initial growth of his following. He married the daughter of a Khatri, who bore him 2 sons. Janam Sakhi accounts record that Nanak's early life was spent herding the family's cattle and conversing with passing Sufis and sadhus, Muslim and Hindu mendicants. In his 20s he moved to Sultanpur, where he worked for several years in a granary store until his religious vocation drew him away from both family and employment. Nanak is believed to have had a revelatory experience when he was about 30 years old. According to a Janam Sakhi text, he disappeared while bathing in a river and was presumed drowned. The hagiographical accounts suggest that during his disappearance Nanak communed with the Supreme Being, who gave him the nectar of immortality, Amrit, that granted him knowledge of the divine name. The mystical experience is thought to have afforded him with an epiphanic vision of transcendent reality. The voice of the divine anointed him as a guru and instructed him to teach the divine name and its veneration to others. When he re-emerged from the river 3 days later, he remained in silence before finally proclaiming, "There is no Hindu, there is no Muslim." Nanak's message negated the Muslim-Hindu dichotomy in favor of a unified oneness that matched his mystical experience of the divine. From that moment, Nanak declared he would walk God's path, and, in the tradition of Indian religious mendicants, he embarked on a lengthy journey, probably traveling to the Muslim and Hindu religious centers of the Indian subcontinent, and perhaps even to places abroad. Neither the actual route nor the places he visited can be positively identified. References found in 4 of his hymns suggest that Nanak was present at attacks that Babur, an invading Mughal ruler, launched on Sadpur and Lahore, so it seems safe to conclude that by 1520 he had returned from his travels and was living in the Punjab. According to this version, Nanak made 5 trips, 1 in each of the 4 directions of the cardinal points of the compass, followed by 1 within the Punjab. He traveled first to the east and then to the south, reaching Sri Lanka. He then journeyed to the north, deep into the Himalayas, where he debated with Siddhas, religious specialists who were believed to have attained immortality through the practice of yoga. His trip to the west took him to Baghdad, Mecca, and Medina. He then settled in Kartarpur. After visiting southern Punjab, he died in Kartarpur, having appointed a loyal disciple as his successor. The hagiographical character of the Puritan tradition, and Nanak's message of divine unity and ubiquity, is well illustrated by the story of Nanak's visit to the Muslim holy city of Mecca. Having entered the city, Nanak lay down with his feet pointing, In South Asian customs, it is considered highly offensive to point one's feet towards something sacred, at the mihrab, the niche in a mosque indicating the direction of the Kaaba. An outraged Qadi, Muslim judge, found him there and demanded an explanation. In reply, Nanak asked him to drag his feet away from the mihrab. This the Qadi did, only to discover that, wherever he placed Nanak's feet, there the mihrab moved. The lesson of the story is that God is everywhere, not in any particular direction. Guru Nanak's message can be briefly summarized as a doctrine of salvation through disciplined meditation on the divine name. Salvation is understood in terms of escape from the transmigratory round of death and rebirth to a mystical union with God, or, as he is called in Punjabi, Waheguru. The divine name signifies the total manifestation of God, a single being, immanent both in the created world and within the human spirit. Meditation must be strictly inward, and all external aids such as idols, temples, mosques, scriptures, and set prayers are explicitly rejected. The Muslim influence is relatively slight. The influence of Hindu mystical and devotional beliefs is much more apparent. Nanak's teachings go beyond just attainment of mukti. He preached a life of service.